Let's talk about how we can take fractional exponents and rewrite them as roots and vice versa. So what I've written here is kind of this general form that if you have something raised to a fractional exponent, in this case a divided by b, so x raised to this power, that is the same as taking x to the a power, the a, and then taking the b root of that. So the b root of x to the a. So the power is always the numerator, and the denominator is the root. Now, a couple exceptions just to look for this is that often, of course, if a is 1, x to the 1 over something, we don't usually write a first power. We just write x because x to the first is just x. So that's something to look for. If you have this and there's nothing written on your x or your number or whatever, it's to the first power. The other thing is, if we're taking the square root, if the denominator is 2, we don't often write the 2. If we just don't have anything there, I blocked that off, that is read as the square root. There's a kind of implied 2 there. Okay? So let's do a couple examples. If I had x to the 3 over 4, again, that means we're taking the fourth root of x cubed. So again, power is on the numerator, the root is on the denominator. If we were doing x to the 1/3, that is the cube root of x to the first, but again, we typically just write cube root of x. We don't usually write a first power. If we had x to the 5/2, we would write the square root of x to the 5th, but again, like I said, we typically don't write that power of 2. That would be read the same way. Let's do one more. Let's say we had x to the 7/3. That would be the cube root of x to the 7th. Let's go the other way. So if we had the fourth root of x to the 9th, that would be x to the power divided by root. Now, if we had the cube root of x to the 6th, check this out, we could do x to the 6/3, but then even better, 6 divided by 3 is 2. We can see some simplifying that would have been hard by just looking at the root. We can actually see, oh, it actually just ends up being x squared. That's kind of slick. Now, if we had the fourth root of x, remember, if there's no power written, it's implied as 1. So you might even want to just write it in there. So that's x to the 1/4, like that. If we had the square root and no root written out there of x cubed, again, if there's no root, it's implied to be the square root. That's kind of our shorthand. So this would be x raised to the 3/2. Now, all of this is in the interest of solving for x, which I'm going to get to in a later video, but it is very helpful to be able to jump between fractional exponents and their roots. So this is something that is really worth just committing to memory. It's pretty easy to just always say, okay, power is on the top, roots on the bottom. Okay, and just kind of memorize that. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more math help.